What's up, guys? It's your boy WingsofRedemption. It's one of those times to rant. Oh man, I just got done watching the Jaws video. And we all know what the Jaws video was because he puts out like one video a month. So, and this isn't about Jaws. It's more about people as a whole. One of the comments on the Jaws video was that people with 1,000 subscribers make the best videos. And I'm not saying that people with 1,000 subscribers don't make good videos. I'm not saying people that with 1,000,000 subscribers make good videos either. All I'm saying is people are so hard up with this notion, this nostalgia that being the underdog, being trendy, being the hipster is the way to be, and that's what you are. You're being a hipster. Let's go ahead and look at this. This is what I was talking about right here. It says, "Fuck you, X-Jaws, sincerely, Troll Arc staff." Or as you can read, I've responded to him, "Seriously, dude, you're that much of a troll follower that you consider yourself a part of some elite group? There's nothing wrong with this commentary, and it has nothing to do with what other grudge you hold against X-Jaws." And more of this happens. This isn't just this conflict. I mean, I don't give a shit about this conflict. It's whatever. It's childish. But it happens over and over and over again. It's like people saying the Browns are my team, or this team, my team. You live in South Carolina. The Pittsburgh Steelers, you have no stock or anything in them. Quit saying that they're your team. They're your favorite team. You enjoy the Steelers. You have nothing to do with their affiliation. Don't do that. It's just like people that pretty much watch gameplay that consists of big Moabs, and look here, let's break down a big Moab gameplay. This gameplay right here is courtesy of JNasty720. This is what he does on his channel. As you can see, this is right here is what I get thrown in my face a lot, that you're not a good COD player. Well, I don't really like Call of Duty, to be perfectly honest, but even then I can see what this is. Like, if you look, one thing about Modern Warfare 3 is when one person's in the spawn will not flip. But the fact is, only one person can be in the spawn. This is new to Modern Warfare 3. You originally couldn't do this in other games. Alright? So we have a guy that's obviously got really good talent. He has a lot of hand-eye coordination, and he's pretty much shooting people as soon as they spawn. This is essentially the same thing as we used to see in a Black Ops, demolition room. Let's look at Black Ops Demolition right now. As you can see, he pretty much just takes out the whole hidden element of, surprise, and just straight up kills them as soon as they spawn. If you go back and look at the JNasty video, matter of fact, let's go ahead and go back and look at the JNasty video. You'll notice that every time he catches somebody, they've already started their sprint to come out of their spawn. Just keep up a look. I think I showed this a little bit more, but I just randomly selected in the video. Is you'll see the first instinct for anybody to do is to sprint as soon as they spawn. That's something that just built into us when we're playing Call of Duty. And there's the first person that shot at him the entire video. Obviously he's good. He has the route planned out, but most of the videos consist of him running the same route over and over and over again. This does not make him a bad player. Don't make me sit now making him a bad player. He has figured the game out, and he knows exactly what he's doing. And I bet you money, every time he sets on and he tries to get one of these game plans, he has a route that's predetermined, and that route's predetermined based on experience of spawns, experience on how people react to their spawns, and things like that. This is essentially the same thing as demolition spawn trapping. It's almost the same thing as like the Birdman spawn trap. Look at this one. I mean, this one basically takes it down to its root, but it's still the difference. Just a little bit of variation in between. You have, and then there's like 4 levels of the spawn trap. There's what I normally do on mission, and then there's what JNasty does, then there's just what Birdman does, and then there's what that Black Ops video is. I mean, it's all essentially the same thing. It's basically learning and controlling the game and taking advantage of what the game's mishaps actually is. Developers are actually the one that's letting us down, not the actual players. But all this video was actually to determine is that, I see it day in and day out, people sending me Moabs, people sending me, Moabs based off how many seconds in the gameplay. Like for somebody the other day sent me a Moab that was like 171 second Moab, and I'm like, why not just call it what it is, dude? Like a 3.5 minute Moab. I mean, it's pointless. I mean, the fact is, some of the best players, some of the best content creators on YouTube aren't good at the game. They have something that looks similar to this. And this video is not to degrade anybody here. I mean, this right here is pretty much the standard for Call of Duty gameplay. Birdman knows it, Jay Nasty knows it, Faircrads knows it, X-Jaws knows it. Everybody knows what people expect to see when they walk into a Call of Duty gameplay. And the reason behind that is because it's just the standard. Nobody wants to see somebody do unsuccessful. People play Call of Duty to see the numbers. People play Call of Duty for that arcade feel. They don't play Call of Duty to see somebody die 40 times. With that being said, there's room for all kinds of gameplay out there. There's room for objective-based domination gameplay. There's room for camping gameplay. There's room for rushing gameplay. And it bothers me that so many people are so hung up on a certain style or a certain way or a certain group or a certain thing that people can't look past and actually see what the person is behind you. This is just pretty much a message to all the commentators out there that pretty much are building their stuff around centering gameplay. It's the personality that sells yourself, dude. It's not what you can do with a controller. Just look at Modern Warfare 3 right now, for example. It has broken itself down to the point where by the way, before I forget about it, 9% is not Birdman's win-loss ratio. That's somebody I've taken randomly from Elite. That's their win-loss ratio. But if you look at it again, people are so want to affiliate themselves with something and back people like they're troopers or they're stormtroopers more likely they're the Wehrmacht. The Wehrmacht pretty much walked to their death and had their country overtaken because they blindly followed orders. Think for yourself. That's all I've ever asked anybody to do, is take an opinion and think for yourself. Don't believe and don't be subtle to everything you see on Call of Duty. It's just like these people that enjoy the game Happy Wheels. I'm pretty sure somebody enjoys the game Happy Wheels. It obviously has a following. But it's more like every time I see the game, I'm like, seriously? This is what people are watching on YouTube? We're all different people and different mannerisms and expects, and I just wanted to get it off my chest how I didn't like how people pretty much fanboy it up, especially when it's against something that they have no business in whatsoever. If Minnesota Burns and X-Jaws have beef, or even still have beef, guess what? They'll deal with it like two grown adults, which they both are. You know what they don't need? They don't need a ragtag militia in the comment section, pretty much belittling everything that's happened in the last 6 months. Like, here's an example of one of the reasons I'm making this video. This is my comment section. By the way, follow me on Twitter.